Today is 5th of September 2016. Today we would like to talk about how our family left in Pakistan side of our village. It is very traumatic because we were seeing people coming from other villages passing through us and say why they are moving and say because of their refugees they are going there. And everybody was thinking, how can you take your property, your house, your land? It still remained to be here. But eventually, it came our turn as well when Muslims started attacking our villages. And one time, the Muslims came to attack the village Palasar where my middle school was, and our those number 290 JB people went to help them. And then in the meantime, their Muslim army came and started attacking us as well. And we ran for our lives to our village, and our bullets were going over our head. We were just leading around and running. Eventually, we got this protection of a sugarcane field, and we lie down in there. And for a long time, till it was the evening, and we thought military, there was no firing going on, so everything is safe. But when I went to the village itself, all our villages, total Sikh families, all vacated. Nobody was in the village, and luckily, my Mamaji, mother's brother, he had a horse, and he was looking for me. When I went out in the bazaar, in the street, he saw me, and then I got a ride on the back of the horse and took me with the rest of the village. And this is one thing that you never forget in your life, how tragic situation was. And then we started moving in a caravan, and caravan is such a big, so many people, and this is like you don't know where it starts, where it ends. You're just moving along with the people. It took us 4 weeks to reach India. The city was Firozpur. It is about 210 kilometers from our village to Firozpur. And once we reached India, it was a big relief. But the trouble on the way was that one of my uncle, Trilochan Singh, he got sick, he got diarrhea. And he knew that he is not able to survive, and he was requesting his mother, don't leave me here, take me with you. And eventually we got a ride with one of the mullah called, and they agreed to take my grandmother and him on the top. And on the way back, on the way to Firozpur, we were saying, how is he going? And say, he's all right, he's all right. In fact, he was dead. And we reached Firozpur and we buried him there. That is not the only point being reached Firozpur, the problem was solved. And the floods at that year was immense, never ever seen, experienced in my life. And people were drowned, and one of our relatives, the young boy, died as well. They didn't do anything for him. I put him in the water and just float away somewhere. You never know. And eventually, my father from Karachi went to Bombay. From Bombay, by train to Punjab, Amritsar. And from Amritsar, he found out somehow or other that the people from our side are in Firozpur at the moment. He came to look for us, but it is not possible to do anything about these circumstances. And in that case, he came back, and we had an ancestral village, or rather, an ancestral house in Amritsar. It was in Kamawandi Gali, Galwali Gate, Amritsar. And once we reached Amritsar by train, and we went straight there and saw father as well. And on the train, people were in the train on the top of the roof, and the people in the floods, so many people died, so many animals died. It was a stench of I think that you could not smell anymore. It is such a hard point, and to see all these situations. And this is where we sort of started our life all over again in Gilwali Gate. Luckily, my father was on 3 months leave, and he had a pay from Karachi coming directly to him by post, and we got 2 months money. There was no other uh, financial situation, and eventually it is eventually that 30 month salary was also stopped with that you have to come to Pakistan and get it here. There is no way he could do it. And while we came to Amritsar Gulwali Gate in October sometimes, and October soon after that I got a job in a flour mill where I have to clean the bags of the wheat so that they could be reused, and I was getting 2 rupees a day. That was my salary, or what you call it, and that one rupee was going to the family, and my mother was feeding me with another one rupee because extra milk, extra something, because I was working, I was young. And eventually, after that one, in January, December 1947 and December 1948, my father got a job in Simla. So we all moved to Simla. From there, we stayed there for a long time, for a few years. Then my father was a well-educated law instructor in police. Then he got seconded to Ambala police lines, where he was a law instructor. So all the family moved to Ambala, and I was doing nothing. And my father asked me, "What do you want to do?" I say, "I don't know." And he said, "Do you want to join the police?" I said, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind." So in Ambala, I went to the recruitment office and got myself selected as a police constable, and it was a special constable called selection grade, because a normal constable would get 30 rupees a month, whereas selection constable will get 33 rupees a month. So this is how I started my life as a working person, and this lasted only for a year or so. In the meantime, my father went back to Simla, and I was left alone in Ambala with my job. And I totally hated being a policeman. And I told my father I want to resign, and he wouldn't agree with me again. But I persisted, and he says, "Don't worry, I'm going to come to Ambala on some cold case, and we will approach and resign." Then he came, wrote resignation, and then sent to the superintendent of police, and he approved with 1 month notice, and I went back to Shimla with the family. And being in Shimla again, there was nothing to do. For a while, we applied for a job, and there was nothing coming up, and they thought I might as well I go to the school. So I joined high school in grade 10, and that didn't last very long, because in the meantime I got the offer for a job in irrigation department as a tracer.
Okay.